latest in tech suit innovation. The Tier Vinzo utilizes frictionless fiber construction, surface lift technology, endo compression cage, seamless exo shell, Tier Vinzo, Battleborn.
Edinburgh put lots of opportunities in front of me, and all I had to do was take them.
There is just so much to do in this city. Always something new to discover.
I love exploring Edinburgh. I found the people here very friendly and so much fun.
The city is known for being a global innovator in so many fields. That's what made it very attractive.
Edinburgh University is highly ranked worldwide. It's got such a strong academic reputation, which is why I was so eager to come here.
Edinburgh was always where I wanted to go to university during high school years.
It's a city with so many opportunities. It's a city you can be yourself in, and it's a city that challenges you.
Volleyball was a huge part of my life before starting university. It's been great playing it here as team captain.
The city has given me global opportunities to build my career, and I'll always be grateful for that.
The environment here has changed me. I've discovered my own independence.
I've made a lot of friends in Edinburgh. Scottish people are so welcoming. They've made me feel part of the city.
Everything I wanted to do, Edinburgh made happen. That's what university should be about. You need to be in a city that can inspire you. Ladies and gentlemen, that was it.
There are a lot of world-class universities, but how many of them are in world-class cities?
Go Edinburgh.
Go Edinburgh.
Go Edinburgh. Go Edinburgh.
Go Edinburgh.
Come on, Edinburgh! Good afternoon everyone, and welcome to the Royal Commonwealth Pool 2019 Edinburgh International Swim Meet. This is day 3, session 8. I'm Robert Taylor, and with me today is Tony Rose.
Morning Robert, how are you doing?
Very well. So thanks to everyone joining us here today. A big thank you to our sponsors of the event, Edinburgh, University of Edinburgh, City of Edinburgh Council, Tier and Sports Abroad, who are supporting the event over the 3 days. Thank you very much for doing that today. And those of you who want to give us any messages, hashtag EISM19. So any tweets you wish to give us, please send these in. We'll try to pass these on throughout the day. So Tony, we've had exciting morning with the faster swimmers. This afternoon it's the younger swimmers. This is what we have in front of us. Day 3, kick off with women's 200 individual medley and 50s breast and butterfly. Backstroke for both the men and women. 100 free for the men, women's 200 breast, 400 free. We do not have a 1500 free this afternoon. We have a heat this evening. Fastest heat, only 8 swimmers taking part in that. And we conclude with the men's 100 butterfly and the women's 400 free. So a lot of the targets this afternoon, Tony, will be for some of the younger swimmers, especially the juniors, to try and get into junior finals.
Absolutely, yeah. This is a big chance for some of them, and some of the seniors as well. Maybe able to scrape into finals, unlikely, but you never know. It might be a few of them manage to do that. They've got to give it their all. Had some good swims this morning. Some of the big names there: Adam Peaty, James Wilby. Had James Guy, who was surprisingly disqualified. Big talking point this morning. So
yeah, that's
not positive talking point, but a big talking point nonetheless.
A little bit of a disappointment. We don't have James Guy back for that butterfly.
Head-to-head with Duncan Scott.
Interesting one with Duncan Scott, but nevertheless,
not to be.
Not to be. And we'll have that this evening. That kicks off at 4 o'clock, a little bit earlier on day 3. The session is probably going to last a couple of hours or so this afternoon, Tony. So lots to look forward to for especially the younger swimmers who have the opportunity of swimming at a big venue in Edinburgh. It's a very, very popular event now. We have a variety of swimmers from 30 countries over here, big contingent from the Scandinavian countries, Denmark and Sweden, Norway, and a number of the top swimmers from Spain over here as well.
Yeah, and good, I think, for many of these younger swimmers, it will be their first chance to swim against people from outside the UK, so hopefully they're making the most of that and enjoying that opportunity. So
our first event that gets underway, will come up very shortly, is 200 individual medley, and we have 4 heats. For most of these girls, it will be possible an opportunity to get into maybe a B final. We only had just over 16 swimmers took part in the 3 heats, so lots of opportunities for some of the younger swimmers perhaps to get themselves into a B final, and you never know if some of them can do personal best, they might even scrape into an A final.
Yep, so looking in the last heats for that one to see most likely to be coming through in the finals, but let's see where we get to. So just waiting for the girls to come out for the first heat.
Has the swimmers, you can't see that on your screen, but we have a list of swimmers that are already on the board.
Here comes some feet, so I think we're first set of heats. There's the swimmers there.
One of the things that will happen today, we have a number of para swimmers, so they will take part this afternoon. Gives them the opportunity to swim at this meet as well.
Quite a few
Tony
para records,
Shaw,
I think, haven't there been?
Grace Harvey, so Megan Victor also in this one. So 3 para swimmers and a couple of juniors. One of our colleagues who was on the live stream this morning, Paul Noble, he was with me, one of our experts on the para commentary, and Paul has all these records to hand, so I'm sure if something happens, Paul will give us the nod.
Absolutely. 5 Olympics in a row, I think Paul made in the 80s through to Sydney in 2000, so certainly been there and done it, I think.
Done it, yeah. So we'll keep you posted if anything happens on that front. So we're just about ready to go here, Tony. As you can see, it's one of the swimmers, Grace Harvey. Coach giving her assistance. In some cases, some of the swimmers are able to get that little bit of assistance to get them on the blocks. That's purely permissible. So Grace Harvey from Hoddesdon in lane 2. Tony Shaw, University of Aberdeen Performance in 3. Leonie Jones, Borough of Stockton in 4. Alice Chan, Millfield School in 5. Megan Richter from Orion goes in lane number 6.
Nice start there. Lane 4, straight into the lead.
So the 3 Pana swimmers in 2, 3 and 6 in this one. Well, the lead, as you said, in lane 4, Leonie Jones, Borough of Stockton. We have a good contingent of swimmers up from both the northeast and northwest of England to this meet, very supportive, and Borough of Stockton, one of the clubs that regularly come up here for most of the Scottish-based meets. And Leonie Shaw, 32.06. This leads out that turn. Tony Shaw, the Pana swimmers, going particularly well. Third at the British Championships. And one of our competitors over at the Gold Coast, 6th in that Commonwealth Games event. We're coming to halfway. Leonie Jones and Tony Shaw and Alice Chan rather. 1:11.01.
Onto the breaststroke. Often this is the stroke that sorts it out on the medley, Robert. People can come flying through, and it looks like that's happening in this race with Alice Chan from Millfield School. Hotbed of swimming for years and years and years. Specialist sports school down in the southwest of England, and she's really pulled away on this breaststroke, has Alice. Almost 5, nearly 10 metre take on Leonie. And into the freestyle, and yeah, nearly 10 metres on 150 breaststroke. Pretty good breaststroke there from Alice.
So it just has to come back in something like a 36 to get inside 2:30, and that'll be a pretty good start for Alice. Entry of 2:31.19 certainly looks well capable of getting a few seconds inside that, coming down pretty strongly. You can see the green cap at Millfield School on your caption there. Very strong start for this afternoon, 2:28.92.
So Alice and Leonie were equal within a tenth of a second at the 50, at the 100, sorry, and took 10 seconds off her in that second 100 of the IM. Shows how much of a difference that these different strokes can make in the one race.
Tony Shaw coming in third place and 2:39.98, a few seconds slower than her entry time. And Megan Richter 2:55.52 fourth, and Grace Harvey from Hoddesdon 3:05.30. Let's see if she can get inside that. Not quite. 3:12.30. Less good swims all round. A nice start there for Alice. 2:28.92. So we'll try and keep you posted during this event where some of the junior swimmers are positioned. Next heat contains 8 juniors. So next again, 1:20, we have 7. So lots to play for in the next 2 heats for our juniors.
All Scottish heat, this one. Not many of these heats in this event are purely Scottish swimmers, but this is one of them. Flora Nichols from Warrender in lane 1, Jacqueline McMillan from Carnegie in 2, Rachel Saunders from Warrender in 3, Alicia Bain from Aberdeen Performance in 4, Elle McMillan from St Thomas in 5, her teammate Hannah Cool is in 6, Alexandra Murray from Warrender in 7, and Erin Taylor from Finns in 8. So 3 Warrender swimmers and a couple of St Thomases in here. And It's the Aberdeen swimmer though, Alicia Bain, just taking that there in the first 50, 32.24. And there you can see also a good start there in lane 2 from Jacqueline McMillan from Carnegie, and up at the top warned as Alexandra Murray and Erin Taylor from Finns. So still pretty much all of the minute here. You expect Rachel Saunders there in lane 3 to come back here, focusing here on lane 2 Jacqueline McMillan, and Rachel has come back really well in this backstroke leg. Promising young backstroke swimmers in the country, but it's still Jacqueline turning first there at the 100s.
About a second faster than the previous heat. This is the key section, breaststroke. This is where a very good breaststroke, you can come literally from 5th, 6th place to get right up into the leading pack again, and you can see that in lane 4. Also over on that far side, Erin Taylor from Finns going particularly well. She may actually be challenging for the lead. Hannah Cool, a Rose St Thomas swimmer, well up there. I'm not sure if that's a leader or not.
Yeah, that's Alicia, and she's not leading at the moment though, is she? It's Hannah Cool now.
It's Hannah that has the advantage, but as you can see, all change. 1:54.76. So a very similar time to that previous heat. And they want to kick on. The two girls over on the far side going very well, Tony.
Yeah, so it looks like Erin though just edging out and in lane 8 in this last 50. Very strong freestyle leg. And it looks like she is pulling away from the rest of the field. Nice Alicia coming back there in lane 4, but I don't think she's going to have enough to catch up with Erin, and Erin is going to take this one. Touching in now in 2:30.52, so slightly down on the first heats. But a nice finish there from Erin. Paced that well through that 200. So she gets first. Alicia Bain came through back again, second in lane 4. And in third place there, Jacqueline McMillan from Carnegie.
And Taylor, the only one in that, Tony, surprisingly, inside their entry time. All these girls in the sort of 2:29, 2:30 range. So, of course, one of the things that I'm sure they'll take into consideration is the fact Scottish Nationals 2 weeks away, and they'll still be in hard training. This is an enjoyable meet, I think, for most of them, rather than you know, the
Depends
key
what
one
you mean by
weeks.
enjoyable, Robert. I suspect most of them are fully hard training at the moment, and this is a training meet for them. They're swimming through it, training hard last week. They'll be training hard next week probably, and this will be quite an effort on it. By the time you get to Sunday afternoon, a lot of them will have had 3 or 4 swims over the last 2 days, so they'll be no doubt up tomorrow morning at 5:30 training again. So
into the fun of Heat 3 then. Natalie Jones, Wandered Baths in 1. Faye Rogers, Borough of Stockton, goes in lane number 2. In lane number 3, Victoria Vaughan from Hovenstadens. Cockermouth, Jess Procas in 4. Holly Shand Elgin in 5. Eve Corrigan, Wandered Baths in 6. Jenny Galloway, Wandered Baths in 7. Drew Mackenzie going particularly well in backstroke, the youngster from West Lothian, 14-year-old, the youngest in this field, along with Jess Procas.
Drew qualified for the junior final of the 400 IM yesterday, but didn't swim that final. But as you say, 14-year-old leading the rest of this field, 1:08.62, and that is faster than the previous heat. So cracking first. And
Jess Procas 1:11.36, turning 7th. Well, I'm sure she'll come through strongly in breaststroke, Tony.
Yeah. Likewise, Jenny Galloway in lane 7, another breaststroke specialist. So this is looking like it's going to be pretty even by the time we get to the end of this length. But Drew Mackenzie is still holding on out there in lane 8. But Jenny is catching her up, as is in lane 4 Jess Procas, as you thought, Robert. And it is going to be Jess, I think, who's going to edge it turning into this freestyle leg.
Yeah, she's the Scottish national champion on breaststroke, so no surprise. 7th the first, 1:54.14.
What a lovely feeling. But Drew Mackenzie has picked that back up on this first 25 of the freestyle and is now taking the lead. The youngster, the youngest in this race with Jess Procass. And I think Drew is going to take this one. She's had a cracking swim. Entry time 2:29.64. And she comes in 2:27.98. What a cracking swim there for Drew. And that is the fastest swim this afternoon so far.
Well, the dreaded scoreboard has gone blank again, which suggests that one or two things. Either there's a problem with the electronics and they're checking a time, or we have a disqualification. And sadly, disqualification, lane 1 for a technical infraction. But Drew Mackenzie, that was some effort out of that outside lane.
Fantastic.
And looks like an interesting event. That maybe 200 IM for the 14-year-olds at the Scottish Nationals. Jess Procass, a Scottish-based swimmer at Cockermouth.
Yeah, good pedigree at Cockermouth. A very small town in Cumbria, but they do produce their swimmers.
So the final event, heat number 4. I'll just run through the swimmers in this one. Faye Donahue, Borough of Stockton in 1. Rachel Taylor, Newcastle in 2. Mary Swanson, University of Aberdeen Performance in 3. Daniel Rayner, University of Stirling in 4. Oda Borgstrom from Randaberg in 5. Kirsten Laurie, Edinburgh University 6. Emma Scully, City of Glasgow in 8. Zane Hinfold, City of Oxford in lane 8. 2:24 through to 2:27 in this one, Tony. So let's see if some of them can challenge that 2:22.72, which would get them into the A final. Big ask. A strong start at the moment. Rachel Taylor from Newcastle. A number of Newcastle swimmers up over the last few days, swimming very strongly, and Rachel Taylor's gone off very strongly indeed. 30:02. So that's roughly about 3/4 of a second faster than that previous heat. Mary Swanson turning second. You kind of fancy Mary to come through strongly in backstroke. Very effective backstroke swimmer, and a pool that she knows well is, you know, Tony, an ex-Warner swimmer. Now
Moved
up
to
at
Aberdeen this year, and she really has. She said she's come through very strongly in this backstroke leg, looking good. And it's just edged ahead, I think. And she's coming into the breaststrokes. A beautiful backstroke leg there from Mary.
One was 7:43. It's about a second and a half faster. And, I think all these girls will have to pull out something special to get anywhere near 2:22. Rachel Taylor just gone back into the lead.
Yeah.
Daniel Rayner in that green cap in the middle from the University of Stirling, trying to stick with Rachel, but I think this one's already in the bag for the Newcastle girl. Well clear, lovely breaststroke there,
very good.
Lovely glide.
And as often in the IM, you get a good breaststroke, that momentum carries through into the front crawl.
1:48.53. Well, we're 5.5 seconds faster, so if she can pull something really special like a 34, it's doable.
She's really stretched on in this last 100 of this IM. Looking very strong. Mary, though, is coming back at her a wee bit. Slightly starting to tie up, I think, about Rachel. And Mary is definitely coming back at her. So what's that target, Robert?
2:22.72.
She is getting very close to this. And just outside, but a good swim for Rachel there, 2:23.
Well, she might actually get into the final if we have a withdrawal. That guarantees her. I'm pretty sure that will guarantee her centre berth in the B final. Of course, there's a B final for that. That was some swim. 2:23.39 with an entry time of 2:24.57. So we'll look forward to seeing Rachel this evening, assuming that she's not heading down the road in the train or the bus or car.
We're now down to 50 breaststroke for men, so starting at the other end of the pool. We've got only 4 heats in this afternoon session for that. And this heat we have 3 swimmers. Callum Harold from Bishop Stortford in 3, Andrew Arthur from Aberdeen in 4, Bryn Cooser from Bishop Stortford in lane 5. An all-star cast in the breaststroke this morning, with Adam Peaty, James Wilby, Ross Murdoch all be kicking off in the final.
No Craig Benson, no.
No.
Just missing out in 9th place, so unless someone withdraws, he won't be back for the skins this evening.
Always exciting, the skins, I have to say. It's I don't see it very often, but if you haven't seen the skins before, you should stream in this evening to watch that elimination round as you go through the races. But back to this afternoon, and we've got a pretty close race here between Andrew Arthur in 4 and Bryn Cooser from Bishop Stortford in 5. And it is Bryn who's really pushed on in the second 25 of this, and he has pulled pretty clear of Andrew, and I think he is going to take this quite clearly at 31.01, which is 1.5 seconds improvement on his entry time. So that is a cracking swim for Bryn there. He'll be very pleased with that. Andrew Arthur as well coming in under his entry time. So cracking start to the heats this afternoon from those 3 boys. Moving into the second heat now. They were all juniors. These are all juniors as well.
Just coming back to that 200 IM. We suspect probably Drew Mackenzie's done enough to get into the junior final on a 2:27.98. Other swimmers who may be there or thereabouts: Faye Donaghy and Alice Chan. That will be confirmed later.
So in this heat we have Tony Anderson, Freddie Wilkinson in 2, Cameron Allison in 3, Theo Goodfellow in 4, Kenji McDade in 5, Liam Murphy in 6, Daniel Saunders in 7 and Murray Pritchard in 8. And it is lane 5, Kenji McDade. He has had a busy meet and a good meet. I think he swam every single event yesterday afternoon just about, and he's really pulled away from the rest of the field in this one, and he is going to take that in a 31.76, so not as fast as the previous heat, but a nice swim for him under his entry time, so he'll be pleased with that. And in second place we had Freddie Wilkins, and in third Cameron Allison. Oh, a joint second actually between Freddie and Cameron, 32.24. And now moving on to heat 3 of 4. And in this heat we have Gio Ratui from City of Oxford, Connor Morrison, para swimmer from Aberdeen Performance, Lasse Krieger Skottrup from Farum in 3, Harry Turner from Swansea University in 4, Ross Young from Edinburgh Uni in 5, Scott Quinn, world record holder Scott Quinn in the para class SB14 from Warnder Bass, Magnus Carstensen from Hoofstaden in 7, and Tom Ward, Borough of Stockton in lane 8. Quite a character, Scott Quinn. Seems to be getting faster with age, which isn't the norm.
Entry time 30.9 for Scott. These lads all in the sort of high 30.0 through to 31.84. And pretty level start in 5. Ross Young perhaps just with the edge from Harry Turner. And coming down to the last 15 metres, it's Young and Turner in the centre lane, Scott Quinn in 6, possibly getting into 3rd place. No doubt Ross Young's coming to get this one. Ross Young, 30.66. And that is a new Scottish record.
British, I think, actually.
The 14 new British record for Scott Quinn. 38.8, now down to 30.66. As you say, seems to be getting better with age.
Good red wine.
Yeah.
Cracking swim there. He's a real character as well. Really brings some life to the pool when he's around. Cracking swim. Congratulations, Scott. Coach Costas will be pleased with that. Into the final heat here. Even Glaxo from Hamar in 1, Jack Green in 2, Harry Devlin in 3, Morgan Berryman in 4, Nikolai Friedheim in 5, Ross Neely in 6, Yusuf Betu in 7, and Charlie Waddingham in 8. And no one in lane 4, so the fastest qualifier isn't in this heat. See if the others can make the most of that opportunity. Very fast strokes there. Lane 7, Yusuf going out very strong, 30.29 entry, and his clubmate Ross Neely on his inside, just maybe pulling back on him there. And down in lane 3, Harry Devlin from Loughborough, looks like he has pulled in this last 25 away, and he gets under 30 seconds, which is a nice swim for him. First time under 30, I think, so good swim from Harry. Second place was Ross Neely from Glasgow, and Yusuf held on for third in 30.79.
28.47 would have been the target to try and get into that skins final. So these guys just around the 30-second mark, massive ask to try and find the best part of 2.5 to 2 seconds. But, good swim nevertheless.
Yeah. Do tune in for that skins this afternoon. Seeing Adam Peaty do 4 or 5 50 breaststrokes one after the other is quite something to see. Moving into the women's 50 fly now. There'll be a skins final in that this evening as well. And that will be starring Jeanette Ottesen, who has made a return having had a baby and is swimming almost as fast as ever, from Denmark.
So first of these 4 heats, Blythe Brown, Arbroath St Thomas 1, Heather Brawley M&B in 2, Erin Donnelly, Burles Stockton 3, her teammate Faye Rogers 4, Mary McDonald Aberdeen Performance 5, Annabelle McGrory Derwentside 6, 7, Nicole Reynolds Dundee City Aquatics and Mars Matilda Collier in 8. And it's lane number 2, Heather Brawley going particularly well, just beginning to tie up a little bit. Coming into the final stretch, Heather Brawley back over in lane 6. A late charge, Annabelle McGrory gets that. 30.12. Lovely finish from Annabelle.
Timed that perfectly.
30.30 entry time. And stormed through just that last few metres to take it. Another swimmer from Cumbria, Derwentside. And if you hear anything in the background, that Claxton, Tony, you can tell them what that signifies.
You have to leave the building, Robert. Is that what it's?
We need to leave the building, yep.
That is the spot prize, Claxton. So there's a nice goodie bag from the sponsors tier, for the winner of this heat. So more than just times to race for here. And we've got Victoria Vorm from Hovenstaden in 1, Georgia Pease from Basildon in 2, Scarlett Ferris from Dundee City Aquatics in 3, Isla Yule from Bankery in 4, Louisa Stoddart, Lothian in 5, Morven Lister in 6, Katie Tulloch from Bankery in 7, and Evie McLean from Oxford in 8. And it's lane 7 though, I think Katie Tulloch doing well, and also lane 2 here, Georgia Pease. And this is going to be very, very close across the board.
7.
And lane 7, I think, if she spots it. And she just did spot it. 29.66 from lane 1, Victoria Vorm. 29.76. And then 29.79 for Georgia in 3rd. So very close race there. And spotted her finish perfectly.
Big incentive for the spot prize is we sometimes get these swimmers from the outside lanes sneaking in, and it nearly happened with lane 1, but lane 7 just doing enough.
Yep.
So that's not the sort of swimmers from the previous heat. Sarah Anderson, Wonderbath in 1, Anna-Marie Damjavovska from Loughborough in 2, Melody Jones, Burles Stockton 3, Josephine Tenneblad from Hamar in 4, Katina Price, Newcastle 5, Jess Damon, Edinburgh University in 6, Krista Wilson 7, Newcastle, and in 8, Eve Corrigan, Warner Bass. Well, Krista Wilson in 7, going well, and in 2, Anna-Marie Damjovska coming through strongly. Melody Jones in 3. There's another tight finish. It's lane 7, I think it's just going to take this. Krista Wilson, 29.12 on a 29.55. So these Newcastle girls swimming very well this afternoon, Tony.
Yeah, absolutely. Lane 7 also doing quite well in the last 2 races. See if Emmy Hutchison from City of Glasgow can make it 3 in a row for lane 7 in this heat. Unusual to have one of these outside lanes being predominant in a couple of races. And moving into this last heat, Luna Dond Fjellberg from Hovenstaden in 1, Hannah Denny from Bath University in 2, Kirsten Laurie from Edinburgh Uni in 3, Sophie Amalie Schoen from Fareham in 4, Alicia Lundblatt from Helsingborg in 5, Vera Stone Hansen from Hovenstaden in 6, Emmy Hutchison from City of Glasgow in 7, and Delphine Little from City of Oxford in 8, the only junior in this race. But it looks like normal form has returned in this heat, with Sophie Amalie Schoen from Fareham in lane 4 stretching ahead in this one, but it is pretty close between her and Alicia, but I think she is just going to spot it. No, Sophie Amalie, yep, does just take it in 28.47, 4 100ths of a second behind her was Alicia, but the screen in the pool has gone blank, so technical problem, or maybe
we just need 4, 5 and 6 to come out there, Tony, and then 7 is the winner.
Ha, that would be unusual.
It would be unusual. We'll wait for that just to come through.
And I'd rather that didn't happen as well, I think, really. So
yeah, in the spirit of things, these, as you can see, the next event is going to be backstroke. Our technical officials who do a fantastic job over those 3 days, getting these in place for the next event, which is a 200 metres backstroke for men.
Those ledges are the scourge of the judges, are they not, Robert?
They are indeed. If you don't get them in, they tangle about, they add extra minutes, and you know, when you're trying to stick to specific timelines, that extra 30 seconds soon mounts up.
But the swimmers love them, because as you can see, there's a nice little ledge, as the name of it suggests, just above the water line that the feet can get on top of, and it gives the swimmers that extra little bit of grip and boost to get themselves a better start in that backstroke. So probably for the benefit of the swimmers, it's, well, judges have to suffer.
That's the rationale behind it, but it has happened that swimmers have started and gone all the way down and eventually got up, so sometimes it doesn't work out 100%, but you're absolutely right. In most cases, it gives them that little bit of extra purchase. So Andrew Arthur, I think he's back in the pool very quickly in lane 1. Kerr Lumsden from Monifief in 2, Toby Hill, Prescott in 3, Felix Hale and Verleith in 4. Very nice start there in lane number 5 from Toby Hill from Prescott. Opened up almost a body length advantage over Andrew Arthur from Aberdeen Amateurs. All these 4 lads swimming in the junior category.
Toby's had a good, he's only 15 this year, so one of the younger juniors in the men, and he's been on the verge of junior finals in both the 100 and the 50 back, so he'll be hoping to go one further in this event, and he has absolutely taken this race by the scruff of the neck and has got a good over 5 metre lead as he turns into the second 25 of this second 50, and he is absolutely storming this one, looking very comfortable, and he has had a good meet, so turning in 102.49, so if he can keep this up, he is going to blast through his entry time of 2:15.62.
Could easily get a good 5-second improvement if he maintains this pace, as you say, Tony. Going particularly well. In second place, Andrew Arthur, probably pacing pretty close to his 2:16.10. Other 2 lads, Kieran Felix, roughly a body length or so further back, challenging 3rd and 4th. But with 50 to go, 1:37.01, so we're probably in the sort of 2:11, 2:12 range if he can just maintain this pace. Usually find the 3rd of these 4th lengths is the length that they sometimes just switch off a fraction and pick it up in the latter stages. So.
Yeah. But backstroke is one of the few strokes where the second 100, whilst it's hard, it's closer to the first 100 than most other events, and he has really stuck at this, Toby, and he's going to come in and absolutely blast his entry time. 2:11.71 is an absolutely cracking swim for Toby, 15 years old. He should hopefully be very, very pleased with that swim. And carries on his good form from the other events over the last 2 days at this meet. Unfortunately though, in that race, lane 4, Kerr Lumsden disqualified for a technical infraction. Toby first.
Well, that gives them a very good chance of making a junior final on that time, 22:11.71.
Good.
The fastest junior time from this morning was 2:09.20. The fourth swimmer in that junior or provisional junior final, 2:12.41. So that gives them an excellent chance.
Excellent.
With 2 more heats to come.
So there's another 10 or 11 juniors left to come this afternoon, so let's see what they can do to get close to that time. A number of them in this heat, so you've got Mehdi El Mansar from Bishop Stortford in 1, Jake Kirkham from First in 2, Alex Castillon from Spain in 3, Stuart Crawford from Glasgow Union in 4, George Cowan from St Thomas in 5, Sean Craigmile from East Lothian in 6, Thomas Coates from West Lothian in 7, and Samuel Chittlebrough from Warrendabaths in lane 8. So lane 3 and 4 senior swimmers in this heat, the rest of the boys in the junior competition. Some good Scottish juniors in here: Jake Kirkham, Sean Craigmile, Thomas Coates, and Sam Chittlebrough. And it is one of those, Jake Kirkham from First, turning in 31.30.
Jake has been swimming pretty well over in the West District champion, and third at Scottish Nationals in this.
Well, it's a strong age group, that one. They've got Jake and Cameron Travis from Aberdeen in the backstroke. It's actually though in lane 7, Thomas Coates from West Lothian, who may be just edging ahead with Alex Castillon in this first 100. And the rest are all pretty close, and it is Alex from Spain turning first in 65.29, and that is quite some 3 seconds down on that fantastic swim from Toby in the first heat.
So you kind of fancy their own entry times here.
Yep.
Somewhere around the 2:14, 2:15 mark perhaps. So they'll all have to pull out something special in this last 50-60 metres if they want to trouble the judges for a place in that junior final. Certainly Alex Castillon going pretty well. The rest a lot to do, 1:39.06.
So he's pulled back a couple of seconds on the swim of Toby, but he's still down on it. And also now lane 5 is George Cowan, who's come through well, and in lane 6 Sean Craigmile from East Lothian. Really good second 100 here from Sean. He's really picked up in this last 25, coming into second. Alex is going to take this though, older swimmer from Spain, and he's coming in good even split swim, 2:12.96. Sean comes in a 2:14.47, so that's just on his entry. And in third, Stuart Crawford comes in 2:15.09. So spot prize there for Alex Castillon.
George Cowan coming in fourth, just sort of 2:15.60. May put him in a sort of borderline category for a place in that junior final. Something under 2:15 is probably required to be guaranteed. And a very talented youngster in the next one, Cameron Travis from University of Aberdeen Performance in 1, Rowan Greening from Cockermouth in 2, Fraser Allison, Wanderbass 3, 4, Joseph Martin, Newcastle in 4, Matthew Wright, Bath University 5, Torrey Joe, Trent Oliver, University of Stirling in 6, William Ellis, Borough of Stockton 7, Rhys Davis from Pembroke District is in lane number 8. So interested to see how the youngster of this field, Cameron Travis, 15-year-old, goes in this.
Yep.
2:13.10 his entry time. And winner of the summer meet and winner of the North District age group. development squad member. He's off to a reasonably good start over in 5. Going very nicely is Matthew Wright from Bath University. Also up beside him, Joseph Martin of Newcastle in lane 4, and Tony Joe Trent Oliver in 6. On the opposite side seemed to have the advantage also there in 2. Rowan Greening from Cockermouth. I'm surprised to see the Cockermouth contingent doing well. Turning in 3rd, Joseph Martin 30-31.
A pretty even race here with Rowan Greening, he's junior in lane 2, and then we've got 3 swimmers near the centre, so Joseph Martin, Matthew Wright and Tony Joe Trent Oliver, and it is Tony Joe just edging ahead, as you can see in this halfway stage, and it's Tony Joe and Rowan Greening, so 102.93, so that's more aligned with the start 100 that Toby Hill, who's still posting the fastest time this afternoon session. Tony Joe in lane 6 is just pulling away slightly here, but the junior Rowan Greening in lane 2 is sticking with him, and lane 4 Joseph Martin just pulling through here in this 3rd 50, all to play for in the last length.
And the juniors over on the far side, 7 and 8, William Ellis, Rhys Davis possibly in with a chance of making that junior final. But at the moment, Tony Joe Trent Oliver has had a good second half of the race and really pulling away now. Going nicely is Rowan Greening, another junior in lane 2. He's been prominent throughout. I think he's probably done enough to get into the junior final. Just a little bit over the 2-minute mark at the moment. And Tony Joe Trent Oliver, 2:08.98. And 3rd place, Rowan Greening. The board has gone again, so we'll have to wait and see what happens. Unfortunately, disqualification lane 8 for a technical infraction, but Rowan Greening 2:11.40, Tony, the junior in lane 2. That's a cracking swim.
Yeah, it's faster than Toby Hill did, but it looks like hopefully they will both be in the junior final this afternoon, and they can swim side by side and have a good race of it.
So it's possible that 1 or 2 of these swimmers also in the 2:09-2:10 range will also get into the B final.
Yeah, that was a good swim there.
Certainly Tony Joe will, I'm sure, be in with that time. Certainly get into the B final without any issues at all. 2:09.20 was the reserve place for that backstroke for the fastest. It was Daniel Jenkins, the junior from this morning. So on to the girls' 200 backstroke, 7 in this one. We'll show in lane 2. Ryan McGill from Heart of Midlothian in 1. Ashley Merson, West Lothian in 2. Lucy Lucas, East Lothian in 4 rather. Anna Green, Wonderbaths in lane 5. Martha Skolseg from Hamar in 6. Amy Hartness from Dumfries goes in lane number 7. Well, Lucy Lucas, no real surprise to see her going particularly well. Last few months she's really getting back to the form that we know of her, and going particularly well now. 2nd at these districts recently, and 2nd at the Scottish Summer Meet. That's where her entry time comes from, so that's pretty historical, Tony. That's a way back last July. 33.30 after the first 50.
Well, she's just coming back from illness or injury, then that's hardly surprising, but she's certainly coming back strong here. Already over 5 metres up on the rest of the field. It is reasonably close in a line. The 4 girls, Rowan, Ashley, Anna and Marta. But that's a good 1:10.49, so you would be expecting her to be nicely under her entry time of 2:27 with that. But the girls maybe slightly tying up now. And outside her, Anna Green from Warnder. Young Anna Green, she's 14 this year. And she's coming back nicely on Lucy.
Lucy probably a bit like Cassie Wilde, better over the shorter distances. And 50 to go. It's getting interesting now. 1:50.36. Well, that was virtually 40 second for Lucy in that one. So looks as though it's maybe 100 metres too far in this one for Lucy's just dropping back. As you say, Anna Green, youngster from Warner Baths, going very strongly now over in lane 7. Dumfries Lass, Amy Hartness, having a nice swim in that outside lane. 2:28.40 Amy's time. Anna Green 2:27.60. That's a nice improvement. 2:26.94. Second place was Lucy Lucas, 2:31.30. Amy Hartness 2:31.77.
Nice swim there from Anna. It shows the importance of her turn. She really attacked that last turn, went in behind, came out ahead, and just went for it in that last 50. So a nice small improvement for Anna. She's getting set for snags in a couple of weeks' time in Glasgow.
Duncan, have you got a pen that works?
So, moving on to...
So our next heat, Melody Jones, Borough of Stockton in 1. Emma Morley Is It, City of Oxford in 2. Victoria Vorm from Hovenstadt in 3. Maria Cabrelli from Dundee City Aquatics 4. 5. Emily Ford, City of Oxford. Alexandra Murray, Warner Baths in 5. Alice Knight from First in 7. Kiana Bellotti, Warner Baths in 8. A couple of Warner Bath swimmers again in this one, 7 in 6 and 8. Let's see if they can do equally as well as Anna. A very strong start, both in 2 and in 5 from Mimi Morley Is It from Oxford and a teammate Emily Ford. Well, both these girls just shading things at the moment, coming through. Melody Jones, Borough of Stockton in 1, into the mix, and over in 7, Alice Knight from First. So those 4, Mimi 34.41, just a little bit slower than that previous heat, but Lucy Lucas went out very fast, whereas this might well be a bit more even paced. 4 or 5 girls, all pretty tightly bunched, barely a second cover them, Tony. So.
Yeah. No, it's looking like it could be a much more even race than the one we had previously, and there are now really 5 girls all on a line coming into this first 100, and it's still both of the Oxford girls who are probably just setting the pace, maybe 1:12.03, so that is slightly down on the last heat, but in that last heat Lucy did tail off quite considerably in her second 100, so see whether Mimi can hold on in this heat. And she's not getting away though from Melody here in lane 1, who is very strong coming back in this third 50, and also out there her teammate in lane 6, that's sorry, lane 5 is Emily Ford, but still in the lead Mimi Morley is that, and she's maybe even stretched a little bit away in that third 50, so good push out from her. Good long underwater there from her teammate though, who did pull back a little bit in that turn. Turning into a nice little race here as we come into the last 25.
Yeah, the 2 City of Oxford girls have been prominent throughout, but late charge perhaps from the Dundee lass in Ford. Maria Cabrelli, third at the Scottish Summer Meet, and she is really motoring down the final 15 metres. I think she might have sneaked into second place, however Mima I think is just going to hold her. Very close at the finish. A cracking finish indeed. Mimi takes it from Maria and Emily. Oh, it did indeed have a cracking finish. Melody Jones not that far behind in 4th. So the winning time in that one, 2:28.53.
So still not quite on the pace of Anna in that first heat, so one more heat with some more juniors in it here to try and beat that time. We've got Jacqueline McMillan from Carnegie in 1, Erin Donnelly from Borough Stockton in 2, Sarah Fraser from Aberdeen Performance in 3, Cecile Buchholz John Hansen from Hoofstaden in 4, Emma Scully from Glasgow in 5, Niamh Ritchie from Loughborough in 6, Nicola Lees from West Lothian in 7, and another Niamh Green this time from Dumfries in lane 8. Juniors in 1, 2 and 8 here, all looking to see if they can get close to their entry times and get themselves into a final this evening. In fact, Niamh Green in lane 8 isn't swimming in this, so it's up to Jacqueline and Erin in lanes 1 and 2. Good underwater shot there of Erin Donnelly.
Nice to see Niamh Ritchie back swimming in her home town, now down at Loughborough University. Ex-Warder Bath swimmer going in 6, so let's see how she does. Scottish national champion a number of years back, so this is certainly her 40 backstroke. Emma Scully, so very good backstroker, is in 5 at 50. It's lane 4 with the advantage. Celia Buchenholt Johansson looks very relaxed coming down this second 100. Sarah Fraser in 3. About a metre or so back, Emma Scully and Niamh Ritchie in 4 and 5 and 6, and Jacqueline McMillan from Carnegie also trying to get there. So about a body length advantage at halfway as we turn in 1:08.88. So very much good. Faster than that previous heat 20. So
yeah, and
let's see if they can come back at her.
So Cecile, looking at that backstroke there, very, very steady head as she goes down this third 50, and she is nearly 5 metres up and looking very strong. She was a good 2 or 4 seconds ahead of the previous heat, so she's looking very strong as she comes into this third and last turn. She flips over, and it's Carnegie's Jacqueline McMillan in lane 1 who's on second, but nearly 3 seconds down. And Cecile is really looking strong. Entry time of 2:20.20, so she could get pretty close to that in this heat if she keeps up the pace she had in the first 100, and she's really strung out the rest of the field, with only really Jacqueline McMillan able to respond. But Cecile's coming in, going to get close to her 2:20 time, and just see whether she just over 2:21.32.
Well, that's pretty good, Tony. That we'll get into the B final. 2:22.58 from this morning was the slowest of the qualifiers for that, so that will certainly give her a swim this evening.
Excellent.
Assuming that there's nothing amiss, because the scoreboard again has gone. So we'll have to wait for technical officials just to confirm if there is someone coming out.
There have been quite a lot of disqualifications
there has been a
today,
few today.
which is slightly unusual in a meet of this.
It might be quite innocent. It might be the fact that lane 8, they forgot to mention that lane 8 did take no part, so it might just come up with no swim for lane 8, but we'll keep you posted in a moment. We have
oh no,
and unfortunately lane 4 is disqualified for technical infraction, so Cecile won't be back this evening. Jacqueline McMillan 2:24.78 takes the final heat.
So just to confirm you, that result that just came up on the screen there unfortunately wasn't quite correct. Cecile was disqualified in that last heat for technical infraction. And we're moving on now to the men's 100 freestyle, and we have 6 heats in this afternoon's session. Number of para swimmers in this first heat. We've got Gavin Roberts, classification 14, City of Glasgow. John Law, classification 13 from University of Glasgow in 2. Tony Anderson, youngster from City of Glasgow in 3. Owen McBurney from Dumfries in 4. Rhys Davis is also a junior, classifying 14, Pembroke District. Dundee City Aquatics, Jack Milne. category 14 as well. Conor Morrison from Aberdeen back in the pool, category 14 in lane 7, and Michael Jones, category 7 from City of Manchester in 8. And it's out there in lane 6. Jack Milne looking very, very strong. Entry time 57.7. So 56.42 is the Scottish record that Jack might well be aiming for here, and a good swim from Tony Anderson, youngster in lane 3 as well. But it is going to be Jack Milne, 57.38 for him. Nice strong swim there. Second place was Tony Anderson, 57.71. And in third place we have Conor Morrison there. Nice swim for Jack.
Cracking swim there for Jack Milne inside his entry time. So on to second heat, Carl Barrett, Aberdeen, University of Aberdeen performance in 1. Teammate Cameron Travis in 2, Yazin O'Neill, West Lothian 3, Daniel Chadha, Bishop Stortford 4, Jamie McDonald, Wonderbass in 5, Dermot Sutton, Limerick in 6, Martin Lacoso from Hamar in 7, Dan Kinsella, Warrington Warriors in 8. Times in this one, 55.50 to 56.04.
Should be pretty close then, half a second between the 8 of them in the entry times.
Certainly should be.
Already more than that at the moment.
8 and 6, I think, over that far side. Dan Kinsella in 8 from Dermot Sutton, 26.48.
These guys will be aiming for the junior final, but they're going to have to go some. I think it's about a 53 high they're going to do to get in that, if not 54 low. But giving it a good shot, and it is lane 6. Dermot Sutton from Limerick, coached by John Sharanek, who's moved over there from Scotland in the last year, and it's a great finish between Jamie and him, and I think Jamie McDonald. No, Carl Barrett.
Carl Barrett sneaks in.
That was a great last 25 there from Carl. 55.18. Jamie McDonald 55.41, and Dermot Sutton 55.47.
There wasn't a Claxton there to give Carl that extra incentive, but some swim from that outside lane.
Very good.
Tom Ward, Bishop of Stockton in 1, Elliot Miller first in 2, Jura 2 from City of Oxford 3, Rory McKinnon, O'Gine Bearsden in 4, Nicholas Skelton, City of Oxford 5, Ian Rose, Warner Baths in 6, Louis Lawler, City of Glasgow in 7, Benjamin Winterburn, Carnforth in lane 8. Let's see how this one goes. Rory McKinnon from O'Gine Bearsden, I'm sure will go out very, very strongly. Let's see if he can maintain this very strong pace. And certainly Rory McKinnon, Scottish national champion and West District champion, 26.81. Very promising youngster.
Absolutely.
And he just maintains that slight advantage. Nicholas Skelton in 5, Gio Ratu in 3. It's anybody's between the 3. I think Gio's just getting up in 3 to take this. It's Gio, Nicholas and Rory. I'm sure that's the 1, 2, 3. That's how it finishes. Well, that was some finish, fellas. 54.96.
Great swim there.
Gio Ratu. Nicholas Skelton takes second on 55 dead. And that's Louis Lola, 55.94. The new S14 record. I'll just confirm that. That's a Scottish S14 record for Louis Lawler, City Glasgow. Well done, Louis.
And another one of our fantastic para swimmers here in lane 1, Stephen Clegg from the City of Sunderland, Gregor Swinney from City of Glasgow in 2, Jared Armstrong from City of Manchester in 3, Jack McCormish, another para swimmer from City of Glasgow in 4, Thomas Japanis from Edinburgh Uni in 5, Tony Joe Trett Oliver in lane 6, University of Stirling, Teddington's Oscar Jones in 7, and Graham Baird from Scotia in lane 8. So some more. Tony Joe is only not long got out of his 200 backstroke, so there in lane 6. He's suffering a wee bit, I think, from that. And then left side in lane 7, Oscar Jones from Teddington, and in lane 5 on his inside, Thomas Japanis from Edinburgh Uni. And it's those two swimmers, maybe Thomas just slightly edging ahead now as we come into this last 10. Head down, no breathing, and he's done a great finish there, very focused, 52.88 for him. That is a nice improvement on his entry time of 53.60. Second place was Jack McCormish, 53.29. And in third place, Oscar Jones from Teddington, 53.42. That's the fourth heat of 100 freestyle there. That's the juniors all done, Graham Baird. Moving on to the next heat.
Good fast time, but they've got to find another second to get a chance of a second swim. 51.88 is the slowest of the B finalists so far. Harley Benji's, Edinburgh University in 1, Charlie Waddington, University of Stirling in 2, Harry Turner, Swansea University 3, Ryan Retson from University of Stirling now in 4, Willie Foster, Loughborough in 5, Joseph Mooney, Limerick in 6, Daniel Christian, Wareham in 7, and Martin McInnes, City of Glasgow, is a no-show.
Old habits die hard there, Ryan Retson.
It was, yes,
for many years.
Slip of the tongue there, but now at University of Stirling, just Stirling in 3rd, Ryan. It's Harry Turner with the advantage. So the Swansea University swimmer going really well down the final stretch. Going nicely is Joseph Mooney in lane 6. It's between the two. It's the Limerick swimmer coming through very strongly at the death. And I think he might just take it. It's very close indeed. Joseph Mooney, Willie Foster. A cracking swim from both of them, separated by 700s, 53.21, 53.28. Harry Turner just pushed out into 3rd place, 53.43.
700ths between first and second there.
So can anyone get sub 52? 52.14, the fastest empty time in this one.
So in this heat, lane 1 from City of Sunderland, Martin Erko Papikraku, Ben Martin from University of Stirling in 2, Magnus Jacobson from Fareham in 3, Robert Cowley from City of Manchester in 4, Neil Wiley's teammate in 5, Ode Hasuna from Edinburgh Uni in 6, Jack Watson from 7 in Edinburgh Uni as well, Ewan Smith, Uni of Stirling in lane 8, and it's Neil Wiley, 24.54, so nice first 50 there. And he's being slightly caught by Ode Hasuna, first year at Edinburgh Uni this year, ex-Warrender swimmer, and he is coming back very strongly on Neil and Robert Cowley on his inside, and it's going to be very tight as we come into this, but I think it is just going to be Neil who edges that one in 52.07. And second was Robert Cowley, who just edged out Ode Hasuna in 3rd place. But a nice swim there from Robert. That'll be fast in his entry time, so he's pleased with that. And we're now moving on to slightly more sedate pace of the women's 200 breaststroke. And we have 3 heats in this event, in this afternoon session.
So I'm not quite finding enough 52.07. You need to be 0.2 faster to scrape into that B final. So 5 go in this one. Martha Reeves, Dundee City Aquatics in 1. Victoria Greenheim from Hamar in lane number 3. Shona Graham, Dundee City Aquatics, goes in 4. Lucy Trotter, Warner Baths in 5. Megan Roddy, East Kilbride in 6. .246 through to 2:49 the times in this one. Off to a pretty level start at the moment. That pink cap in the middle, Dundee City Aquatics, and also in 2. At the far side, it's East Kilbride, Megan Roddy with the advantage at the moment. all of these juniors. Megan turns 16 later this year, and she's got the early advantage. So after the first 50, 37-34. Megan, the West District champion, and second at the summer meet.
There's a bit of a school of breaststrokers out there in East Kilbride with Yvonne Brown, also there.
Another good breaststroker, Lucy Ross. And Megan Ruddy. But metre or so clear. Coming through into second place is Shona Graham. She's the Midlands champion. Fourth at the Scottish Schools recently at Tollcross just a couple of months back. And there's not much between the two, 121.23 and 121.30. So interesting second half, and
turned around.
Shona has had a cracking turn. Those two girls both 16 this year. And you can see that pink cap of Dundee City Aquatics. David Haig produces some cracking swimmers for the size of the club. Scarlett, another one of his, Charlotte Ferris. Anna McLeod, another very useful youngster. And halfway, just after halfway, it's now 50 to go, 2:04.55. So we're probably in that high 240s range at the moment, and, with a late charge. Lucy Trotter from Warner Baths, and she's certainly making significant headway, and you kind of fancy she's going to get up here and
every
get
stroke
into,
she's coming back, every stroke.
She is finishing like a train. East District champion, fifth at Scottish Nationals, and this is going to be very much on the touch. I think Lucy's just going to get this. It's touch and go here. Oh, Lucy's not got it, or has she? I thought just on that stretch Shona just got it, but no, it was Lucy. 2:47.63, 2:47.74, and Megan Ruddy 2:50.47. What a race!
Time to perfection, I think they call that. That was the only point in the race she was in the lead, I think, and it was the point at which she hit the pad. So great pacing there from Lucy Trotter. Just under her entry time as well. So moving into the second heat. Hope this can be as exciting as that previous heat. We have Abby Winstanley in lane 1 from Cockermouth, Grace Robertson from Warrender in lane 2, Kristen Russell from East Lothian in 3, Hannah Cool from St Thomas's in 4, Elzane Pinfold, City of Oxford in 5, Serene Williams from Borough of Stockton in 6, in 7, and Sophie Bain from Aberdeen in 8. So all juniors in this heat, apart from Megan Sheard in 7, and out there in lane 8, a bit isolated out there, but sorry, lane 7 Megan isn't swimming, so Sophie Bain in lane 8 is going to be swimming this race on her own, and she's doing it pretty well on her own at the moment, because she's got a good second up on the rest of the field, and that is in lane 4 Hannah Cool from St Thomas. But it's a nice swim out here from Sophie, the youngest in the event, 14 this year, and she's really stretched out nicely in this first 100. See if she can hold it for the second 100. So 1:18.01.
Doing very nicely, Tony. Winner at the Scottish Summer Meet as a 13-year-old, and went particularly well down the second stretch. Hannah Cool still in there. Third at the Scottish Summer Meet, Hannah. And she's now getting challenged for that second place. Zane Pinfold from City of Oxford and Serene Williams, Borough of Stockton. I've just gone past her, but on that far side, Sophie Bain still going very nicely.
They are starting to reel her in a little. Not sure whether they actually are aware that she's out there. all turning and looking this way, so they may not be as aware of her as they'd like, and she's still kept that just over a second lead. But in lane 6 it is lane 5, sorry, Ilzane, who has come very strong in this second 100, and she has pulled back a little, and I think she may well now be just edging ahead of Sophie. Maybe just took it out a little bit too hard, no one around her to gauge how she was going, and Ilzane is very nicely paced here, and also on her inside Serene, and I think Ilzane is going to take this with a lovely time swim, 2:45.23. So just slightly over her entry time. Sophie was third in 2:46.07, so that is an improvement on her entry. And in second place there was Serene Williams from Stockton. 2:45.83.
Times might be good enough, Tony, for certainly the first 2 or 3 swimmers to get into that junior final. Somewhere in the sort of mid-240s is probably going to be good enough. So final heat. Naomi Van Dongen from Bath University in 1. Jess Prokas from Cockermouth in 2. Matilda Schroeder, Denmark in 3. Laura Hawkins, Swansea University in 4. Natalie Coogans, University of Stirling in 5. Bridget Lizamurier from East Lothian in 6. Jenny Galloway, Warner Bath 7. Faye Donaghy, Borough of Stockton goes in 8. A strong start from the Dane, Matilda Schroeder. He's got off to a flyer.
Hope she knows it's a 200, not a 100, Robert.
Yeah,
well, maybe going out for a time on the 100. That happened.
Well, we did have that this morning with I think
Ryan Robertson, I think it was, in the 100 backstroke.
And the 100 back went out very strongly indeed. Second 100 was a bit slower though. Yeah.
Very painful thing to do. Not sure whether he got the time he was after, but my goodness, Matilda is ripping through this field. 2:42.47.
Well, if she can keep this going, she'll have no problems getting into the B final, I fancy. 109.03. Well, let's see what happens in the second 100.
And that's what she's done.
Certainly easing up now. Looks like she'll treat the second 100 as a swim down.
Be interesting to see whether they can catch her up, though. I mean, that was quite a lead. So that was a good couple of seconds quicker than the first hundreds of the women's races this morning. So a painful tactic, but she still may.
Natalie Coogans, University of Stirling, is the danger now, Tony, in 5. Laura Hawkins in 4. And Bridget Muziri in lane 6. Well, that was about almost a 50-second length there. That's probably still faster than I would swim it.
Yes, me too. And the field are only just catching her up though, so it's a good sign of how good a swim it was. I'm wondering whether she'll try and pick up a little to try and keep with them, but she's not, and it's out there in lane 5. Natalie Coogans, who's really taken on the rest of the race. On her inside is Laura Hawkins from Swansea University, and it's a nice race here, and Laura is coming back on every stroke and is really coming back, but I think she may have just left it too late. And who actually, she did make it. 2:40.52, and the screen has gone up again.
Well,
so
let's hope that for her sake, until that time does come up, otherwise that split that she takes for the 30, well, it is actually lane 1 who is disqualified for a technical infraction. And unlike Ryan Robertson, Tilda did not finish last. She finished a very respectable 5th in that one. Trouble is we don't get the inside information that sometimes our officials will have. They may be told our swimmers going out and will blast the first 100, and they may have asked to get a time to be confirmed that they might want to use at a future meet. So
just keeping us on our toes, Robert.
They do. But we called it pretty well there. So we move up to 400 metres. 3 heats of 400 freestyle ahead of us. Ethan Horn, Rutherglen in lane 3, Ryan Duncan, Arbroath St Thomas in lane 4, Martin Leekso from Hamar in lane 5, and Ollie Carter, the S10 swimmer from the University of Stirling, goes in lane number 6. In fact, just the 3 go. We don't have Martin in 5.
Oh, dead heat for the first 50. Doesn't happen very often. Ethan Horn and Ryan Duncan. 29.54.
So Ethan and Ryan, 2 juniors in this one. There is a junior final, but there is only an A final, with it being 400. The other shorter distances, A and B finals, and of course the skins is just an A final and a junior final. Not quite a dead heat, 101.81, 101.83. Have to have a word with these guys when they come out the pool. Ollie Carter pretty well there. And that white cap over on the other side. Ollie now swimming with the University of Stirling, ex-Carnegie swimmer.
So Ryan just slightly edging away. Only 3/10 in it, mind you, so still really pretty close, although he's just edging slightly ahead here on that 4th 50, coming up to the halfway mark. So just edging nicely away. So he's going to turn in 2:08.86. So might have a chance of getting on his 4:19 entry time. Going to be quite hard, but he might.
Ollie Carter with some work to do to try and get inside that entry time. He's in 4:21.85. That may well be a short course conversion. Of course, this being a long course pool, sometimes the times are not necessarily a long course time, but we won't know that for certain. Ollie Carter, a few seconds further back in 3rd place.
And makes quite a big difference. Conversions from short course to long course can be anything from a half a second to a second per 100 metres, depending on the stroke. So on a 400, it can be 4 or 5 seconds difference between your short course and your long course time. And in that 3rd 100, Ryan Duncan has really pulled away from Ethan very strongly indeed. So 3:15.17. So that was a very strong 3rd 100, 107.
Ollie Carter on just over 3:20. He is the Scottish record holder in the S10 category. He'll really have to go some in this final 100 if he wants to get inside that Scottish record he holds.
What's that record, Robert?
It's 4:27.69, which is a long course time. As I say, the 4:21.85 is obviously a short course conversion, probably somewhere around the 4:17, 4:16 mark. But, different types of swimming, long course to short course, but this is a cracking swim to get us underway. And Ryan, 4:19.10, 4:19.62. I'm sure we'll be pretty happy with that. at this stage of the season.
Absolutely.
Just half a second over his entry time. Second, Ethan. And Ollie Carter, 4:33.20 in third place.
Just outside his record there. But that's a good early season swim for Ryan.
Heat number 2, Daniel Saunders, Wanderbaths in 1. Kenji McDade, City of Oxford 2, Liam Eccleston, Dumfries 3, Cameron Travis, University of Aberdeen Performance in 4, Angus Rutherford, Heart of Midlothian in 5, Elliot Miller, first in 6, George Cowan, Arbroath St Thomas in 7, Billy Wotton, City of Oxford in 8. And City of Oxford seem to have managed to get a good start when they get into that pool in the first 15-20 metres, and they've already opened about a metre gap at the first turn, 28.98 over that far side. Middle lane, Angus Rutherford from Heart of Midlothian, another swimmer who swims regularly in this pool every week, so he'll know the contours of the pool by now.
He probably sees them in his sleep, I suspect, Roberts.
Sure he does. And, Angus certainly enjoys the distance freestyle. Hearts swimmer. At advantage over on that far side with Billy. 1:00.79.
Teammate Kenji as well, not too far behind in lane 2. He's about third at the moment. And he's got Daniel Saunders on his inside, so they can push each other along, hopefully.
Well, Billy's entry time of 4:18.98, quite another old one when we talk about summer meets back in July, South East Summer Meet where he finished 5th. That's where that entry time comes from. He's going up pretty nicely indeed. Angus Rutherford still a little bit back in second place. Angus clear of the swimmers in the middle, and on the near side, Kenji McDade in 2, going pretty well. Another City of Oxford swimmer, also his entry time way back in July, where he was 8th at that South East Summer Meet. Angus Rutherford, East District 4th in this event recently, and 4th at the Scottish Schools. And you see Angus on the caption there, out the turn. There's a bit of work to do.
Yeah, it's nice from Billy. If he carries on with this pace, you'd expect him to be getting under the 4:18. He's maybe just tying up a bit here, or maybe Kenji's just pushed on in this third 100, his first 50 of the third 100, and his teammate looking across at Billy, and I think he is going to turn first now, 2:39.40, so he's really pushed on in that last 50 there. He was only a metre or 2 ahead of Daniel at the turn for 200, and there's lane 1 beside him, and he's now gone 5 or 10 metres up in the space of 75 metres, but I think Billy may have seen him and has responded, and so these two, I suspect, plough up and down the pool beside each other on a regular daily basis, and they're now doing it in a race in Edinburgh as well.
Well, there's about a body length between the two now, 3:11.
So you'd be expecting quite a chunk off their times here. Well, Kenji came in a 4:16, so I would have thought you're looking at a 4:14, 4:15 if he can keep this up. He's looking very strong as he goes down into that last turn, really kicking hard. Hopefully he's not given it too much in that 50 before he gets into his last one. 3:43.22. So yeah, looking at 4:15 and a PB for him here.
Certainly going pretty well down the final stretch. Angus Rutherford still plodding along in third place, probably going to be about 3 or 4 seconds behind these lads, probably around about the 4:20ish range, which is pretty good at this time of the season for Angus. But, well, can he get inside 4:13? He's going to be pretty close to the 4:15 mark, as you suggested, Tony. 4:14.72. Well, that's over a second improvement on Kenji's time. teammate Billy Wotton, 4:16.32, also takes the best part of 2.5 seconds. So the two City Oxford lads really had a cracking swim.
Yeah, really nicely paced there from Kenji. He would have gone out in about a 2.7 and back in a 2.7, so pretty even splitting for his 400 there. So really good sign of a well-paced race, and he'll be hoping he might be able to eke into the junior final today, but there were some really good swims this morning in that 400, so 2 more junior swimmers to come in this heat as well. Yep. We'll do a reappraisal at the end of that and see where we get to. We've got Jack Munsey, who's going really well at the moment from Perth City in lane 1, Cameron Allison, Dumfries in 2, Matthew Wright from Bath University in 3, John Wright from Aberdeen Performance in 4, Sondra Urdal from Bergen in 5, Jared Armstrong, City of Manchester in 6, Jacob Butterfield from Newcastle in 7, and we have Jack Watson from Edinburgh Uni in lane 8. And it is Jack Munsey from Perth City. Really strong improvement in the last 12-18 months from Jack across backstroke and freestyle. Same stable as Stephen Milne. Other youngsters, Jamie McGregor, people like that. And he has gone out very strongly in this first 100, turning in 58.85, so that is quite a swift 100 metres for Jack. Got on his inside is Bath's Matthew Wright, and then a couple of lanes along from him, Sonder Urdal from Bergen. It's still Jack Munsey, maybe just been caught a little bit by Matthew Wright as we come into the third turn of this 400 freestyle.
Certainly something inside 4:16 is required for Jack Munsey and in lane 2 Cameron Allison if they want to force their way, I'm sure, into the junior final. At the moment Jack Munsey going particularly well. I'm sure if he keeps this pace up, that won't be an issue for Jack Munsey. Going extremely well at halfway. Still shades the lead. 2:02.48. So we're probably in about the 4:10 range here.
Yeah, can keep this up.
Jack Munsey, the third at Scottish Nationals recently, and winner at the youth event at the North District Open just a few months back, up in Inverness at the back end of last year. And Munsey still just maintains that slight advantage. It's very tight, Tony, between the 3 lads.
It says he's 4 and 5 years younger than those other 2, so he's showing his older competitors a thing or 2 here in well-paced 400 freestyle, and he's still looking very, very strong. But it maybe is lane 6, Sonder Urdal, who's just edging away in that third 100, 3:06.79. But they're all, I would say, aiming and looking like they're going to get under 4:10.
To be fair, Cameron Allison on 3:10.91. If he can finish strongly, the winner at the Scottish Summer Meet, Dumfries swimmer. You see that black cap there in 4th. He's going very well. Another 16-year-old swimming in the same age group as Jack Munsey will be at Scottish National Age Groups in a few weeks' time. So understandably Jack Munsey in that outside lane dropping back into 3rd place. But it's a cracking swim from the Perth lad.
And Cameron's coming back very strong in lane 2 there. He turned almost identical time to Kenji in that previous heat, but it's going to be Sonder coming through here in a 4:07, taking that one. Matthew Wright second in a, 4:08 there for Sonder. 4:08.94 from Matthew, and Jack finally coming in at a 4:11.12. Just for the record, Cameron Nelson was a 4:15.88, so just behind Kenji in that one. So we'll have to wait and see till we get the full results to see whether Cameron joins, I would think, likely Jack in that junior final.
Yeah, I think that will probably just scrape him in. I would be, don't like to say that for certain, but I'm sure that once they check the results from this morning and this afternoon, Jack Munsey certainly, with that cracking swim, will be there. And I think Cameron Allison might have just scraped in either 7th or 8th. So girls 100 free to finish the girls event this afternoon. 6 heats ahead of us. Megan Richard from Orion in 1. Tony Shaw, Aberdeen, University of Aberdeen Performance in 2. Sarah Carroll, Bishop Stortford 3. Ellie Milne 4. Sophie Houle 5. And Flora Nichols. Trio of Warner Bath swimmers. And Beth Johnson from Best in 7. And Tully Kearney, City of Manchester in 8. And a strong swim from Sarah Carroll from Bishop Stortford. And chasing her, Millie Milne from Warner Baths. And beside her, Sophie Houle. Halfway mark, 29.31. So we're probably looking at somewhere around about 103, 104 perhaps. Sarah Carroll, 101.70. Now being tracked by Millie Milne. They're stretched well clear. And the two girls well clear by 5 or 6 metres. It's going to be Millie Milne who takes that. 100.76. 101.08 for Sarah Carroll. And third place Flora Nichols, 104.66.
That's a very good swim there for Millie. She's 14 this year, so the youngest in that field.
So Tony Shaw, 105.33. So our second heat, Rebecca Schlumann, Border Bass 1. Mimi Morley is it, City of Oxford 2. Abby Winstanley, Cockermouth in 3. Emma McGee from Hovenstadens in 4. Erin Donnelly, Borough of Stockton 5. Carnegie's Jacqueline McMillan in 6. Melody Jones, Borough of Stockton in 7. Ellie Hamilton from First in 8. I'll watch with interest lane 8. Ellie Hamilton, the 14-year-old from First, has been swimming very well the last 3 or 4 months over in the West District. 101.63. Don't know training wise whether she's tapered for this one, but be interested to see how she goes in lane 8.
And she's got that target from the previous heat of Millie Milne, same age as her. We went 60.76, so battles of the 14-year-olds. But it's lane 4. Emma Maggie from Hoofstatten, who is going to take the touch in this first 50, 28.98, so that's half a second up on the previous heat. And Ellie Hamilton there just to keep the tabs, 30.35, so she's there or thereabouts compared to that previous heat. But it is Emma who is storming ahead on this heat here, way ahead of the others. Mimi Morley is maybe in lane 2, trying to keep with her, but Emma is very clearly ahead, just under the minute. Very nice. So she hopefully will be very pleased with that. Second place was in lane 2. Mimi Morley is in a 101.56, and Ellie Hamilton from First 102.02. So first person under the minute this afternoon. It's a good improvement by nearly a second and a half on her entry time, and we move into this third heat where we have Neza Dolence Luznar from Finns in 1, Anna Dagrossa from Best in 2, Safia Sila from City of Oxford in 3, Faye Rogers, Borough Stockton in 4, Olivia Mason, Warnder in 5, Dina Smedsrud from Hamar in 6, another good youngster, Jess Procas from Cockermouth in 7, and Mary MacDonald from Aberdeen University Performance in lane 8. And it's a very fast start from Sophia Sila from Oxford in lane 3.
Another one with a good chance of getting under the minute here, 28.65. Over on that far side, Mary MacDonald going well for University of Aberdeen Performance, and in lane 1 is Dolens Luznar from Finns. Advantage still with Sophia. The City of Oxford are having a very good afternoon. She certainly looks guaranteed to take this one. Second place, it's going to be very tight, lane 1 perhaps from lane 5. Oh yeah, 59.74, a little bit faster than the previous heat. He's takes second, 1:00.76. Olivia Mason, Wonderbass got up to take third, 1:01.05. So on to heat number 4, Anya Slesser, University of Aberdeen Performance 1, University of Stirling's Eleanor Gracie in 2, Eve Corrigan, Wonderbass 3, Alicia Bain, University of Aberdeen Performance 4, Delphine Little, City of Oxford 5, West Lothian's Drew Mackenzie 6, and the Wonderbaths Natalie Jones, Sarah Anderson 7 and 8.
Maybe Eleanor Gracie getting the best start there, lane 2, and Alicia Bain, Aberdeen Performance in lane 4, and those two are ahead as you can see there, but it's still pretty much in a line beyond those two, and they turn 28.85, so just slower than the previous heat. And it was Alicia Bain, Eleanor Gracie second, and Anya Slesser third in that turn. And it does look a little bit like it's the two, Eleanor Gracie and Alicia Bain, who are just taking out, maybe out there in lane 7, Natalie Jones. She's had a pretty good meet as well, and she is really coming back strong in this last 25, but I don't think she's going to have enough to catch Alicia, who takes that. Then it's Eleanor Gracie, and in third I think was Natalie Jones. Yep, just shading over the minute, 1:01.11. And that's moving on to the penultimate heat now in this afternoon set of women's 100 freestyle. We have Sophia Altoft from University of Stirling in 1, Lucy Ross, East Kilbride in 2, Caitlin Cambrick from City of Sunderland in 3, Adele Daly Limerick in 4, Kira Standing from Loughborough Uni in 5, Katarina Price from Newcastle in 6, Evie McLean, City of Oxford in 7, and we've got Amber Owen from Edinburgh Uni in lane 8. No swimmer in lane 3, so Caitlin Cambrick not swimming, and as you may be seeing there in lane 5, Kira Standing from Loughborough is swimming butterfly. So this is a freestyle race, and that means you can do whatever stroke you want to do, and she has chosen to do fly, which has sometimes happened. I did once see Kiana McInnes do a 400 fly at a meet, which was brave or insane, whichever way you want to look at it, but it is beside her, lane 4, Adele Day from Limerick, who is taking us out, but also out there in lane 7, Eva McLean, another Oxford swimmer. They are having a good meet. And in lane 1 here, Sophia Altoft, but it is close now between Evie and Adele, and I think Evie is maybe just edged away, and we'll get it on the touch here. Very close between the three, but I think just gets Evie McLean. 59.86 under the minute, nicely there. Good swim. Adele Daly, 59.92. Gets in second, 59.92, and in third, bang on the minute. Sophia will be slightly disappointed, I suspect, not to get under in third place.
Well, that just, I think, puts her on the margin, that 59.86, possibly reserve place. I think Sophia Sila might sneak into that junior final of 59.74. That'll have to be confirmed. Hannah Denny from Bath University in 1. Sophie Lewis Ward, Edinburgh University 2. Jane Brown, Newcastle 3. Mia Hawkes, Loughborough in 4. Yasmin Perry, University of Aberdeen Performance in 5. In 6, Juliet Cassini, Edinburgh University. Hovenstatten's Luna Donzen-Felsberg in 7. Gabrielle Melbourne Smith, Warrington Warriors in 8. And in 6, Juliet Cassini. That's the advantage, 27.84 from Yasmin Perry. And certainly both these girls look to be sub a minute. And certainly in lane 6, Juliet going very strongly indeed. Yasmin Perry coming through very strongly, youth squad member. And fairly powering down the last 15 metres. Is she going to get the touch? I don't think so. Juliet's going to take this in 2 rather. Sophie Lewis Ward just snatches that. 58.57, 58.75 for Juliet, and Yasmin Perry 58.87.
1500ths of a second between the three of them. Very close finish there. Good timing from Sophie. Takes that one, and we're going to be moving now on to the final set of heats in this afternoon session. It's the men's 100 fly. We have 6 heats here. As with the other events this afternoon, some of these juniors, as we move through the heats, will be looking to eke their way into a junior final, and maybe some of the senior guys a B final. And in this first heat, number of para swimmers 3, Jonathan Booth, Borough Cluckley's in lane 3, Conor Morrison from Aberdeen Performance in 4, and John Law, University of Stirling in lane 5.
Let's see if Louis Lawler can get another record in this one, Tony.
Coming up in the next heat. So we have the 3 swimmers in here. Jonathan just edging at the moment Conor Morrison. Jonathan a 9 classification, Conor is a 14 and John 13. And it is going to be Jonathan turning in 31.7, so that's a pretty good first 50.
Jonathan pretty strong down the final 25. Conor Morrison about a metre or so further back, and still going strongly. Jonathan from Conor. Conor second at the Scottish Nationals Masterclass, and it's very much on the touch. 107.12, 107.27. Jonathan just held off that late charge for Conor. John Lowe 109.04 in 3rd place. So heat 2, Louis Lawler, City of Glasgow. Ian Rose, Wonderbath 2. Jason English, teammate in 3. Miles Lapsley, West Lothian 4. Samuel Greenback, Cockermouth in 5. In lane 6, Lewis Birrell from Wonderbaths. Jack Milne, Dundee City Aquatics in lane number 7. So Louis Lawler, Jack Milne is 14 category. Swimmers in the 2 outside lanes. The rest of them all in the junior category as well. So good start over in lane 5 and in lane 6. Lewis Birrell, Samuel Greenbank. So in 2, Ian Rose. Pretty good start. But, it's the yellow cap, Samuel Greenbank, Cockermouth. He's had a pretty effective meet. So pretty well this morning in the backstroke. Going well at halfway. 27.71.
Nice turnout there though in lane 6 from Lewis Birrell, who's maybe just catching Samuel on this 3rd 25 of this race. and it's looking pretty close between them both, but I think Samuel is still just keeping ahead of him, but he's really, he has pulled away again in this fourth 25, so I think Samuel Greenbank is going to take this one, see if he can get under the minute, which will be nice. Just over the minute there, 1:00.07. Lewis Birrell coming in second, 1:00.78, and Miles Lapsley third, 1:01.17. Lewis Lawler there, 1:05.45, just outside of his entry time as well. So nicely paced race there from Samuel, just over the minute, but an improvement on his entry time by 0.8, so hopefully happy with that. Moving into the third heat now, all juniors in this. Owen McBurney from Dumfries in lane 1, and Carroll from Limerick in 2, John Keane, West Lothian in 3, Fraser Wilson from Warrender in 4, Angus Nicol, City of Glasgow 5, Andrew Arthur, Aberdeen in 6, Bryce Proctor from Dumfries in 7, and Mark Innes from Warrender Baths in lane 8. Fraser, fastest qualifier for this heat, is the national age group champion from last year, Scottish Schools champion as well. On his outside, Angus Nicol, and on the other side of him is John Keane, more known as a breaststroker, but really pushed on with his other strokes in the last few years, particularly in the 50s and the 100s. So got a tidy 100 freestyle as well as this in the fly. And it's a nice race here between Angus and Fraser. Angus maybe just edging away from Fraser in this one, and John Keane coming back nicely in this closing stages, and he may well be pulling back on Fraser, but Angus has pulled away the City of Glasgow swimmer, and he's coming in entry time of 59.88. Will he get under the minute? Yes, he does. Nice swim, 59.23. Be delighted with that. Second place, Fraser just hung on there, 1:00.03 to John Keane's 1:00.06, so 3 100s between Fraser and John for second and third, but Angus Nicol getting under the minute, 59.23.
At 59.23, Tony, according to what happened this morning, 7 swimmers under the minute. That now is the 8th junior swimmer under the minute, so, and that is the slowest time. So if my maths is correct, that's the target for Maxwell Cattermole in 8. We also have another junior later on. So Felix Gifford in 1 from University of Stirling, Frederick Moeller, Hovenstadens in 2, Ewan Smith, University of Stirling 3, Jamie Wilkes, Loughborough in 4, Thomas Beck, Fareham in 5, Stephen Clegg, City of Sunderland in 6, Tony Joe Trent Oliver, University of Stirling in lane number 7, Maxwell Cattermole. That was St Thomas in 8.
Ewan Smith got a cracking dive start there. He was out right from the beginning and has taken that into the first 50, 26.35, first time under 27 for the first 50 of any of these swimmers, and he's still holding it through, although some swimmers further up the pool there are bunching back into him, all along from James Wilkes, Thomas Beck, Stephen Clegg and Tony Joe Trent, and it's now anyone between 5, I think.
Felix Gifford in 1 is coming through with a late charge. I think Felix Gifford in 1 might just take this. It is Felix Gifford who takes that, 57.46. 57.67 for James in lane 4, and Thomas Beck 58.12. Now let's have a look at Maxwell Cattermole, 59.29. Well, just on the edge. We'll possibly get him a swim if we have possible withdrawals for this evening's junior film. I think that puts him as first reserve, Tony, but not 100% sure. That will get confirmation by everyone downstairs later on.
Don't think we'll guess that one, Robert. We'll leave that to others to work all that out for us.
Conor McNeil, City Glasgow 1, Tom Downs, City Sheffield 2, Jonathan Tighe, Edinburgh University 3, Swansea University's Jamie Black and Alexander Morris in 4 and 5, Rhys Ormond Cunningham, Loughborough University in 6, Chris Cheng, Sevenoaks in 7, James Black, City of Glasgow in 8. 57.25 to 57.71, half a second cover the field.
I'll let you get the finish on this one, I think, Robert, if they're that close.
You sure about that?
I'll kick off at the beginning, leave the end to you. So in lane 3, a lovely start there in lane 3 from Donson Tay from Edinburgh University. Maybe lane 5 as well, Alexander Morris. But as the entry times would have suggested, not an awful lot between all of these swimmers, and it's very close coming into that first 50. The clock says Tom Downs touched first in 26.53, so I will take that one as read, and it's still very close across 6 swimmers in this second 50 with 25 to go now, maybe edging slightly ahead lane 2, but really out there and well in lane 6 is Reese, Orman Cunningham, Tom Downs. But over to you, Robert.
It's Reese who's going to be in second place, but in lane 2 Tom Downs takes that from Reese Cunningham. Third place Jamie Black in 4th, so Tom Downs 57.06. You only did that because I managed to get Felix Gifford right in the last one, I'm sure. Reese Orman coming off 57.33 and 57.65 for Jamie Black. No juniors in that one, but we have a junior in the last one.
Pretty quick junior in the last one.
Very good German, Rasmus Nicholson. Jonas Pons from Spain in 1. Lewis Hudgetts from Swansea University in 2. Magnus Carstensen, Hovenstatens in 3. Kevin Wallbank, Loughborough in 4. Rasmus Nicholson from Castrop in 5. Thomas Payne, City Manchester in 6. Jonah Walsh, Edinburgh University in 7. Gregor Swinney from City Glasgow in 8. So that's Rasmus Nicholson just changed nationality back to Danish. So he's gone out very strongly indeed, along with Kevin Wallbank from Loughborough. Those two, a little between the two over in lane number 8. Gregor Swinney also well there. That's Wallbank, Nicholson and Swinney, hardly anything between them. 25.80, 26.23, 26.25. And middle lane's still well there. Gregor Swinney doing well to keep tabs with them. Down the final stretch, Kevin Wallbank, Rasmus Nicholson. That's going to be the 1-2, I'm sure. Do you want to call that one, Tony?
I think even I'll get this one, Robert. Lane 4 there, getting that in first. Kevin Wallbank, Rasmus Nicholson, 56.27 second, and John Ponce from Spain, 57.67. So I think we can be reasonably comfortable that Rasmus would definitely make the junior final. I think with that swim he may make an A or a B as well, but the winner there was Kevin Wallbank, and that is the final race of the afternoon session.
Well, I'm just glad he didn't swim a hundredth of a second faster, because Tom Bealey, 55.74, was the 8th qualifier for that A final, so he almost made that A final. Cracking swim. But he'll certainly be back for the B final. So a great day's swimming. Still got finals to follow in just over an hour. The warm-up will commence, and we're back here at 4 o'clock for a fair bit of action. Duncan Scott, unfortunately not against James Guy, who was disqualified in that 100 butterfly. That's the last event that comes up this evening.
Just have to make do with Adam Peaty and James Welby and Ross Murdoch in the breaststroke instead.
It's
so
not a lot to look forward to, is it?
Definitely tune in for that, guys. Everyone out there, because the skins this evening in the breaststroke will be quite something to watch, I suspect.
So that concludes the session. Thanks very much for joining us. From Tony and myself, we wish you a good hour and a half break, and please come back and join us at 4 o'clock for the finals. So from Tony and I, from the Rockhamel Pool this afternoon, goodbye.